It's been a funny old weekend weather-wise. The wind has just grown in strength. There are huge black clouds. I don't know if it's going to stay dry. We hope so, because race 2 coming to the line. It's a 12-lapper. It's going to be fast. Maybe the wind will stop Tim Reeves dominating like he did in the first race. There was absolutely no one to stop him. Sean Hegarty, 33, James Neave, they're going to give it a good try. Let's stroll down a little bit, Kenny. What a performance from the Birchall brothers as well. Number 16 on the 600cc Cup bike. That was quick. They were right up there in race 1. Gary Bryan too on the Santander Salt with Jamie Wynn back there on the Kawasaki. They were flying too, but Chris Walker and Ashley Hawes, well, I don't know. Would you bet against them going one step higher on the podium? We don't know. Still waiting, as usual, for Tim Reeves and Greg Clues to take their pole position place, as indeed we are Chris Walker. But they'll be here soon. This race then, 12 laps. The wind is strong. Let's hope it stays dry. Our television partner for this one, Midtherm Flue Systems, with a gaggle of corporate guests watching these guys on the grid. Sean Hegarty and James Neave, how good it would be if they came back for good. But the rumour mill says it's a one-off ride. Let's hope the rumour mill is wrong. Tim Reeves and Greg Clues, that great big hump behind the driver there, this remodelled airbox. So they've done something with the inlet tracks on the R1 Yamaha, and it's an absolute missile. Really is flying. Chris Walker and Ashley Hawes, I didn't know, but in the first race they had no brakes. When he did the warm-up lap, he almost didn't race because the pedal went soft. So that was very, very interesting indeed. Didn't the boy do well? Look at Chris Walker there on the second row of the grid, ahead of the Birchalls. They really have been locked together because the Birchalls are riding the wheels off that 600. Gary Bryan, watch him, number 44. Passing the Birchalls on acceleration, almost passing Chris Walker on acceleration. Gary Bryan's got his head down then, up to turn 1. Round he goes in 3rd place ahead of Chris Walker. Brilliant start. This is Horspole's had a shunt. He's slowing down. Somebody got Gary Horsepole and James Connell. A retirement in race 1, a retirement in race 2. They've had fuel problems. What a disastrous Snetterton for Gary Horsepole. Hegarty in 2nd, Bryan in 3rd. Stevens and Charwood a better start this time. There they are then, the Quattro Plant Cool Kawasaki duo. The Hannafin bikes locked together. Holland trailing Rupert Archer and Steve Thomas black helmeted, not anymore. By goes Holland. Rockets past his teammate Archer. Look at the Birchalls, wheel in the air. Holland and Watson, number 60, having recovered. That got so hot, the exhaust pipe in race 1, he had to retire. He's got a massive burn on the inside of his thighs. Gary Bryan then alongside, but on the outside of the Quattro Plant Cool Kawasaki of Stevens and Charlwood. Reunited. Charlwood, of course, that shoulder injury at Knockhill, back here fighting fit. Reeves is not getting away this time because Sean Hegarty and James Neave going with him. 33 then, Hegarty. In 3rd place, it's Stevens and Charlwood. 4th, 44, Bryan and Jamie Wynn. He's absolutely flying this year. Walker, it is in 5th, Walker and Ashley Hawes. Now, the reigning champions who confess to having a little bit of confidence loss, of course, at Knockhill he rode with Charlie Richardson and salvaged some points and retained the title lead. But coming here to Snetterton, they've got to build their confidence again, and they've got 3 outfits ahead of them. Well, 2 outfits ahead of them, I beg your pardon. And, oh, look at this! Walker and the Birchalls really at it, hammer and tongs. Birchalls have got the better. Holland went through. So Birchalls gave Chris Walker a little kiss there and said, we're coming through on the 600, but the big ZX-10 kills them on power up the straight. It's so fast. Into Riches they go, the right-hander. Coming round then to this very, very tight hairpin. And it is a tight hairpin as well. On the back straight, rocketing down there. Walker now has got the better of the Birchalls. Round the right-hander. Up they go then towards the left, throwing it left. Walker in behind Ben Holland, number 60. With Lee Watson, it's damage limitation for them because it was a did not score in the first race. The Birchalls have not given up here though. They are trying every which way to get that 600 CBR Honda past the ZX-10 Kawasaki of Walker, who in turn is right in the wheel tracks of Ben Holland and Lee Watson. Walker on the Santander Salt bike, and out goes Rupert Archer and Steve Thomas. That is a retirement for the second of the Hannafin Kawasaki's. Here then, Holland and Watson having a much better 2016 since Peter Hannafin invested some money in Ben Holland. Always had the talent, that pair. Walker going grass tracking across the rumble strips, and Ben Birchall will have seen that, and he'll be looking for every opportunity, and he's going to have to take it as well, because the only place the 600 is quicker is on the infield, on the tight bends. He's right on the coattails of Chris Walker. Ben Holland on his way, and again Walker wide. This time Ben Birchall takes it. No quarter asked, none given. Didn't want a stamp on the envelope, he just went through. The invitation was there. Thank you very much, I'm coming to the party. Ben and Tom Birchall then on the 600. Honda engined LCR in the long chassis. Head Chris Walker and Ashley Hawes. And down goes Walker's head. This is a terrific mid-scrap race for 4th, 5th and 6th places. Then Birchall, oh, back goes like a rocket ship over the start-finish line into riches. Chris Walker and Ashley Hawes again. And Ben Birchall must be so frustrated. He does all the hard work. Ahead of him, Gary Bryan and Jamie Wynn still leading Ben Holland. Ben Birchall again having a look. Ashley Hawes, a glance over the shoulder just to see how close the Mitchells of Mansfield pair is. And they are about 1.5 bike lengths. Chasing Chris Walker, studying his racing lines. I don't think for a minute Ben Birchall will be giving Chris Walker any more advice as to how to ride a sidecar outfit. He's got enough experience now. The honeymoon is over. Ian Guy, Jed Pillmore Brady, number 19, 8th place in race 1. Another terrific ride for them in this race, and they are looking very strong indeed. But still, this battle raging between Walker and the Birchall boys. He's going to have to do it on the tight fiddly bits, there's no doubt about it. The track dry now here, so everybody can use it, and through he goes again. Chris Walker taking that wide line, but the moment he gets stuck in the tarmac, away he goes again. Holland past Gary Bryan. Bryan relegated, so up to 4th, Ben Holland and Lee Watson. And a great ride for them. They're in 16 points. They desperately need those points, protecting their championship status, and they came into this round in a very strong 2nd position. And that retirement in race 1 cost them that 2nd position, so they now have to earn as many points as they can to do their utmost going into the ultra-rapid 3-race Thruxton round. Hegarty then has got the avid attentions of Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood, who know that their ZX-10 Kawasaki is quick. Is it quicker than the brand new Suzuki that Sean Hegarty campaigned last year disappointingly and almost retired from the sport? This allegedly is his swan song. Come on, Sean, come back, you can do it. But underneath goes Stevens. Hegarty gone uncharacteristically wide, and that looks like a retirement. Yes, a hand in the air from James Neve. There's an issue there with Hegarty. The Birchalls, oh, the Birchalls spinning out. I was about to say the Birchalls and Walker still at it, but Ben and Tom out of the running, and that was frustration with a capital F for Ben and Tom Birchall. Walker then looking good, still that hand, so that is a confirmed retirement for Sean Hegarty and James Neve. The Felix Stowe pairing out of race 2 after a podium in race 1, but the Birchalls, that's what happened. They spun, they had a lunge at Chris Walker. It was frustration. They were desperate to get by. Brian Gray and Adam Christie having a race-long scrap with Rob Biggs and Ben Ransley. Both these crews resplendent, well turned out, very professional. Gray, the consummate professional and veteran, came with 2 bikes. He's got the 2016 R1 and he's also got the 08 Yamaha Screamer. And I do believe that is the Screamer. Can't get his R1 going the way Tim Reeves has got his going. Birchall then recovering, now on the back of Ian Guy and Jed Pillmore Brady, who's done a terrific job since jumping on board with Ian Guy. And Ian Guy just goes on and on and on. Through the Birchalls go on the 600. Still heading the 600cc championship and indeed the class in this race. And similarly in the FIM World Championship, the Birchall boys are supreme. Oh, Gary Bryan and Jamie Wynn, a retirement. That is a mechanical problem, putting them on the grass, so they're out of it. Running so strongly, race long on lap 8 of 12, Bryan's race is over. The Birchells have passed Ian Guy, but Ian Guy, of course, with superior power from that 1000cc Suzuki, should be able to follow them and pick them off on the fast bits, but I think Ian Guy, being a bit more circumspect, is going to let them go. Benetton Birchall will be very much in evidence at Thruxton for the 3 races, as indeed will Tim Reeves, who's way out in front of this one, but 9 seconds clear as opposed to the massive advantage he had in the opening race. Nothing like as dominant in this one, and that's because Stevens and Charlwood are chasing hard. Birchall's similarly chasing hard. Ian Guy, Jed Pilmore-Brady still very much in touch, covering himself with glory, I can tell you. Ian Guy doing a great job here at Snetterton. Tim Reeves and Greg Clues, though, on that Team EA Motorsport Ramsey Racing Yamaha. They've actually parted company with Steve Abbott, who was a guru in the garage. He has now joined forces with the Hannafin crew, so they're benefiting from the experience of the former world champion Steve Abbott. Here we are, second place then. Stevens and Charlwood, as we said, 9 seconds adrift, waiting now for third, and coming over the line in third, Ben Holland and Lee Watson, number 60 for Hannafin Kawasaki. Much more strung out in this 12-lapper, but it'll be 16 points for them if they can bring it home. Hopefully that burn to the legs not hindering him at all. Chris Walker and Ashley Halls there in 4th place, ahead of the Birchells. Guy Pilmore-Brady and Brian Gray and Rob Biggs 7th and 8th respectively for those 2 crews. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. So good to see Brian Gray going. Dean Nichols and Samantha Tilley, who actually is Martin Kirk's girlfriend, young lady, and rocketing past, lapping them, Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood on a charge. Brian Gray then, this battle with Rob Biggs, who was at Knockhill, and I think I said it before, but on one point he was 1.5 seconds quicker than anyone round Knockhill when he came from the back of the grid to clinch the final place on the podium. So we know Rob Biggs can ride quickly, comes from a very good sidecarring family. His brother Jamie Biggs. Oh, Philippe Gallienne, the Frenchman, and Helen Deely out of the running with a mechanical issue. Doesn't appear to be anything wrong other than the fact it ain't running, so it's stopped. Penultimate lap then for Reeves and Clues on this Snetterton 300 circuit. There you have the top 4. Holland and Watson in that podium place ahead of Walker and Ashley Horse. We have a red flag. We have a red flag. That can only have been Philippe Gallienne. Is that a mechanical problem? Is it oil on the circuit? But we have a result. They only had 1 lap to do, so it's game over and a double victory here for Reeves and Clues after 20 minutes of racing here on the Snetterton 300 circuit. A good day's work at the office for the Anglo-French pairing. 50 points in the bag and top of the pile for Reeves and Clues. Stevens, Holland, that's the podium. Chris Walker, again, consistently there, 44 seconds adrift. Ahead of the Birchells, that battle will go all season, I know. Ian Guy, 6th, it just gets better for Guy and Pilmore-Brady. And 12th place for the Spinners, Nichols and Samantha Tilley.